What's up, guys? It's Dan from Coin Bureau Trading. Today we're going to talk about why Ethereum is about to rally and why altcoins are going to follow suit. If this is the kind of content that you enjoy, then be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ping that notification bell. Before we get started, to keep in mind that nothing in this video is financial advice. It's just my personal analysis of the crypto market. Your analysis could be different, and if it is, that's awesome, because the more difference of opinion that we have, the better traders and the better investors we're all going to become. So I'll start off, guys, with some news that you may have missed, and that's that Jerome Powell basically confirmed that the Fed is going to be ending QT pretty soon, sounds like. And of course, that means that QE could be right around the corner. Contrary to popular belief, QE is not necessarily required for altcoins to rally. Obviously, it does help. But this idea that QT is going to be ending, obviously, that's something that's bullish. And what people forget is that when you get a signal from Jerome Powell, something like this, it gets immediately priced into the market. You know, people aren't going to wait until it actually happens. It starts affecting the markets basically right away. And you can actually see that, guys, if you look at the US dollar, which, if you guys remember, the US dollar is the most important chart to be watching right now. It's basically going to tell you where the markets are headed. When the US dollar goes lower, that means everything else goes higher. And when the US dollar goes higher, that means everything else goes lower. As you guys can see, it looks like the US dollar is in the process of getting a reversal here, kind of like a double top, head and shoulders, whatever you want to call it, type of pattern. And so, and of course, it makes sense that the US dollar weakened a lot yesterday with Jerome's kind of like more dovish comments. And not only that, guys, in case you guys didn't know, when the Russell 2000 starts breaking out, then that basically corresponds to an altcoin season, historically speaking. And maybe I'll take away the Bollingers just so it's a little bit clearer here. And if we zoom in here, you can see that the Russell 2000 actually hit an all-time high yesterday, and that was probably because of Jerome's comments. And again, of course, probably also because of the dropping US dollar. But the key takeaway, guys, is that last time we saw this, of course, was in late 2020, and you can see that basically small caps went vertical for around 3 months, 3 or 4 months. And if we see history repeat, then of course we're going to see small caps powering higher, and that's probably going to carry altcoins higher, starting with Ethereum. Of course, it's not going to start with your meme coins that you're holding there. It's going to start with Ethereum. And if you guys need evidence of that, again, throw on the Bollinger Bands on Ethereum. Look at the 4-hour chart, and it's actually really interesting that Ethereum, it broke above the 4-hour Bollinger Band moving average, had a retest of that level, and now it looks like it's going to basically push off from that level and continue heading higher. Of course, on the daily chart, the next level to watch there would be somewhere around 4,250, which actually was tagged yesterday, but I do think that this level will be reclaimed probably in the coming days. And if we zoom out even further, guys, here to the weekly, you'll be able to tell that basically Ethereum has been painting, maybe I'll draw it out here, has been basically painting potentially a bull flag pattern of some kind here. Maybe I'll move this away here, and you guys can see that that basically, I'll just draw it out here in real time. You can see that Ethereum is potentially painting a bull flag pattern here. Maybe I'll get rid of the Bollinger Bands as well to make things even clearer again. So you can see that basically in the next couple of weeks here, it looks like Ethereum is going to break out of this bull flag, and that is consistent with the idea that the DXY is going to continue falling and that the Russell 2000 is going to continue breaking out. And if you need even more evidence, guys, check out ETH BTC, which in my opinion is the most fascinating chart right now. You can see that ETH BTC actually did reclaim the Bollinger Band moving average on the daily, which is awesome. And as I've been mentioning before, guys, if you zoom out to the monthly, you'll notice that I personally believe that ETH BTC is going to be painting a bull flag here. And in practical terms, that means Ethereum is going to get a massive rally versus Bitcoin probably by the end of this month. And of course, this is now not this is necessarily consensus view, but many traders are seeing the same thing, that they all think that Ethereum is going to hit 5,000 by the end of the month. And of course, that will help carry up other altcoins. And if you are looking to trade that move, guys, then do check out the link in the description here. Just click on the more button, and then check out this first link, BitGet up to 50,000 USDT deposit bonus. Click on that link. It'll take you to a page that looks like this. As you guys can see, BitGet does have a partnership with the Coin Bureau, and you do have to do quite a bit to get that full 50,000 basically a bonus. But the kind of silver lining there, guys, is that BitGet as an exchange is actually a really good exchange in my opinion. It's an exchange that I've used personally, and it's one that I personally would recommend. That does not mean that you should be keeping all your crypto on BitGet or on any exchanges. You should always keep your crypto in your personal wallets. But with that said, if you're looking to trade crypto, whether it's spot or futures, or if you want to trade tokenized stocks or trade stuff on chain, BitGet is an awesome exchange, and I would definitely suggest signing up, seeing if it's a right exchange for you. And if you do some trading on there, then you will be getting some bonuses thanks to our partnership with BitGet. So do check out that link in the description. Anyways, guys, speaking of other altcoins, Solana is another one that's been looking really interesting. Of course, on the 4-hour, it's looking arguably even better than Ethereum. Looking on the daily, also same idea. Whereas Ethereum kind of had a little bit of a bearish close yesterday, Solana did not. It looks like Solana is going to be rallying up to around $215 here, and then potentially in the next couple of days. And then I do think it's going to continue powering higher. And of course, it was a little bit of a nasty weekly close, but you can see here, guys, that Solana did more or less hold this support level, somewhere around 195 or 200. Of course, it did see a temporary wick below, but Solana's looking really good here. And as soon as Ethereum's probably going to have its rally, Solana will probably, kind of like play along. Let's say Solana will rally a bit as well. But as soon as Ethereum starts chopping, that's when Solana is going to start taking off. So maybe sometime later this month or early next month. Sui, of course, I'm sure many people are wondering. Sui had an absolutely, ridiculous liquidation here last Friday. And I'm sure that anyone who was bullish on Sui got basically wrecked, which is, extremely unfortunate. And as a fellow Sui holder, I understand. I feel your pain definitely there. It was definitely not fun to watch, especially in the moment. As you guys can see, Sui is above the Bollinger Band moving average on the 4-hour. So of course that suggests that the next stop is going to be the Bollinger Band moving average on the daily, somewhere around $3.2. I do think that's a level that will be hit here, hopefully by the end of this week, if not next week. And then of course, I'm sure many people are wondering about Aptos. Again, it did, like many altcoins, it got completely rinsed last Friday. And for now, it's not above the Bollinger Band moving average on the 4-hour, but it is above the Bollinger Band moving average on the hourly, which makes the 4-hour the next level to watch, which again is not that much higher. It's like literally just a few cents higher here. Once Aptos gets above the Bollinger Band moving average on the 4-hour, then the next level will be the Bollinger Band moving average on the daily, around $4.5. And then at that stage, there will be, that's basically also where the Bollinger Band moving average is on the weekly. So hopefully Aptos can get above that level. Basically, if it gets above $4.5 again and is able to hold that level at the end of this week or next week, then it will be back in bullish territory. So that's the key level to watch here. And I do think Aptos will reclaim that. It's just really unfortunate. Everything was looking really good. Last week, Aptos was looking fantastic, like it was ready to take off. And then, of course, we did get that liquidation, which basically derailed the rally, not just in Aptos, but in many altcoins that were looking like they were about to recover. And then, of course, last but not least, I'll take a quick look here at Bitcoin, guys. It's interesting because Bitcoin isn't looking super bullish. On the 4-hour, same idea as Aptos, not looking super good. On the hourly, it's barely holding the Bollinger Band moving average on the 1-hour. And it, looks like it could potentially get another little leg lower here in the short term, which of course that would probably take altcoins down lower as well. But you can clearly see here, guys, that there is a bottoming pattern forming here, almost like a double bottom of some kind. So in the next day or two, we should see Bitcoin bottoming out and continuing to move higher. And again, like what really has me kind of bullish and hopeful, or whatever you want to call it, is in stages like these, when you see that altcoins are starting to become more dominant, what's really fascinating, at least in my experience, is that if you just focus more on Ethereum, it's like, everyone's watching Bitcoin and thinking, oh my God, like Bitcoin's not looking too hot, so that means the market is going to go down. But the thing is that the baton has kind of been passed potentially here to Ethereum. And if that's the case, guys, then the main crypto to watch in terms of key levels and to get a sense of what's coming next is actually Ethereum and not Bitcoin. I've seen this happen on many occasions in the past, and I suspect that we're seeing a similar situation here, where everyone's watching Bitcoin and kind of panicking. But if you look at Ethereum's chart, you're like, wow, this is actually looking pretty strong. Looks like it's going to continue heading higher. So that's kind of like the chart to be paying attention to potentially now in the next couple of days. And which is why, the focus of this video was basically Ethereum. But anyways, guys, if you did make it this far and you did find that information helpful, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, ping that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one.